Hello everybody and welcome back to MC Magic. We're here this week because I'm going to be talking about a specific news story that came out recently, within a week or two ago, and it requires being in the Magic Kingdom. I thought it'd be fun to just head on over to MC Magic and ride the ride in question while talking about the news about the ride in question. So if you haven't heard recently, Stitch's Great Escape is now seasonal. And a lot of people have asked me, what do I think of this news? What do I think is going to happen? I've seen a lot of people sort of grab onto rumors that are going around right now and treating them as fact. And I figured it'd be worth talking about both what we know for sure, what we don't know for sure, and then I'll talk a little bit about what I think about it. So let's start with what we know for sure. Disney has announced that starting October 2nd, Stitch's Great Escape will be closed. It will be a seasonal attraction. And what that means is it's not going to be open every day of the year. It's going to be only open during certain parts of the year. So the dates we have for now, for 2016, are that between November 19th through 26th, it will be running. And December 17th through January 2nd, 2017, it will be running. So those two periods where the crowds are pretty heavy because a lot of people are visiting for Thanksgiving and for Christmas, they're going to go ahead and have the ride operational. Other times outside of that, it's going to be closed. Now, is it going to open past January 2nd? We don't know. What we can talk about in terms of theoreticals there is that looking back historically at Disney rides, when an attraction, whoa, it's daytime now. When an attraction, and now it's nighttime again. When an attraction closes to seasonal operation, it is unofficially a way of saying this ride is going to be closed permanently. If you read between the lines, what they're essentially saying is they don't want to pay the money to operate this attraction unless they absolutely need to because of the crowds. And so that says a lot for not only their shows randomly. Oh no, I guess we can't watch it. Well, we could go ride a better ride because I guess now you're getting a hint at what I think of this. It's basically saying Disney is not supportive enough of this attraction that they're going to pay the regular maintenance, so they're only going to open it when they need to. Pretty much is writing on the wall that they're going to replace it soon. Now, rumors going around are that it's going to be replaced with a Wreck-It Ralph Candy Crush virtual reality attraction. I've heard one rumor that was very small, and I don't know how much weight was behind it, was that this is actually where Guardians of the Galaxy ride's going to be, not in Epcot. But the truth of the matter is, whatever you've heard, unless something changes in the couple of days between me recording this and you watching this, we do not know anything. We do not know what's going to replace it. We do not know when it's going to be replaced, or what with, or anything like that. Obviously, the footprint of the building is pretty small. Stitch's Great Escape is a show. You sit in the circular theater. So whatever is going to replace it, it's not going to be like a very crazy attraction, I would imagine, because you just don't have the space there to do something wild. So I think we're going to get something creative, whatever it is. I think this rumor of a Wreck-It Ralph ride has been going around enough that, well, I don't fully believe it yet until we get some sort of official confirmation. I think it's cool in concept. The virtual reality part is very iffy to me. Virtual reality is a term that's pretty loose. You can sort of call a bunch of different things virtual reality. Let's get on the queue there. When I think of virtual reality, I think of things like the Oculus Rift or the Vive or, the PlayStation VR, a headset that you put on your head that you go into a 3D world. I've played Minecraft here on this server with virtual reality, and it's amazing. But other people can consider virtual reality, just an immersive virtual experience. So some people have classified Soarin' as, a type of virtual reality, because basically your entire view is covered with this virtual video experience, and it's using all the simulation to make it feel like you're there. If we're talking about a virtual reality ride with the headsets, I'm actually kind of against the idea. If we're talking about something like on the Soarin' level, where it's just sort of a really immersive virtual experience, then I'm all for that, because I think that could be a lot of fun. I think Wreck-It Ralph is a really fun property. There's a sequel in the works, I believe, was announced. So it's a movie that's going to stick around for a while. think it's kind of iffy to fit it into Tomorrowland. I guess, yeah, video games are technology, but I don't like that sort of direction Tomorrowland's taking, where it's just sort of a catch-all for anything technological or even seemingly sci-fi. But I don't like the idea of a head-mounted virtual reality, and the reason for that being is I just don't think the technology is there yet enough for it to be a really good attraction. Having an Oculus Rift DK2, having tried the consumer version and the Vive now and the PSVR, I just don't think the tech's there for it to be really, really good. Beyond just the quality of the attraction, there are so many elements that you need to consider when you're doing virtual reality that I just don't think it would work for something like Stitch's sort of space. For one, you've got to get people who are completely unfamiliar with the idea of virtual reality acquainted to putting on this headset, fitting it correctly. Nothing can be blurry, because if you have any blurry lenses when it comes to virtual reality, you can get a headache or nauseous really quickly. You need to sort of configure the headset for your head. You know, everybody's face and head is different, and there is no one catch-all headset that you just pop on. Even when you go to demo it at something like PAX or E3 or Comic-Con, you know, it takes a minute or two for them to adjust the straps on the headset so it fits your face, make sure everything's focused, nothing's blurry. Now, if you think about it, just Google for a second what the Stitch Theater looks like. There's easily over 100 seats in there. Now, even if you get a couple of people working on the ride system to help people get set up, that's going to take a long time to get everybody hooked up into a virtual reality headset. On top of that, there's the added element of they're going to have to clean it after every showing. You're going to have people going around wiping clean 100 plus virtual reality headsets between every, 15 minute show. That's going to take forever. And if they don't do that, that's going to be super gross, because we're talking about Florida. So just imagine how sweaty and gross some of those headsets will get, you know, in the August Florida heat. And then after all of that stuff, even if you manage to figure out a way to work around it, you still are dealing with technology that's just, one, not high fidelity enough that I think it'd be worth a ride, but two, is something that's growing and changing. Now, you know, personally speaking, I think part of the appeal of going to Walt Disney World is to get experiences that you just can't get at home. Look at this. This is cool to play around in Minecraft, but Space Mountain is not an experience I'll ever be able to get at home. That said, a virtual reality experience with a headset, you can get at home. It's granted, it's expensive right now, and so it's not something a lot of people have, but that's something that gets really, really cheap over time, as with most technology. And so you're going to reach a point pretty soon where it is an experience people can get at home. Not only that, unless Disney's willing to invest the money to constantly update all of this at a regular basis whenever there's a new headset or a higher quality headset or better visuals, then you're going to see a situation where you can not only get this experience at home, but you can get a better experience at home. And that's sort of antithetical to what Disney is supposed to be. So for all of those reasons, I'm not fully on board with the idea of a virtual reality Wreck-It Ralph ride. You know, by all means, make a Wreck-It Ralph ride. I think that'd be fun. And by all means, put it there in Stitch. But I think it should be something other than virtual reality. I think it's got to be something more immersive. You know, originally what this was, what was it, Rocket to Mars or Mission to Mars, and then before that, I think it was like Trip to the Moon. And the way it worked was, rather than having that animatronic Stitch in the center, there was actually a screen on the floor. And the idea is you were looking down as you were like launching up into space and taking a trip to Mars or the moon or whatever, you know, whichever ride you were riding. And so I'd want to see something like that, something using screens, maybe throw some, you know, not full-on simulator movement, but just sort of shaking and tilting of the seats, and animatronics, of course, and work all that together into creating a Wreck-It Ralph ride. I think that'd be fine. I mean, personally, if I had to choose, I'd rather the Wreck-It Ralph ride go somewhere else. I think Tomorrowland, I kind of wish it was sort of pushing towards a theme of, you know, the future. It doesn't have to be the real future, because I've talked about Epcot and Future World at length, and I just don't think that's a plausible thing to do anymore. But some sort of, you know, Jetson sci-fi future where you don't have to worry about it coming to life, because it won't, and you don't have to worry about it becoming outdated, because it's never going to happen. You know, obviously, I think they were banking on Tomorrowland, the movie, doing really well, and as a result, you know, sort of retheming bits of Tomorrowland to match up with the movie. But didn't happen. So they're going to have to adjust and deal with it. And maybe this is part of what they're doing. That said, I'm not that upset about losing Stitch. Wasn't a ride I really loved. I have gone on it once or twice. I wasn't a big Alien Encounter fan, so I don't think I was as bitter about Stitch as some other people like Christine. But I also just didn't really care for it. Like, there's a great example of using some effects to almost a negative effect. Of course, the infamous chili dog smell when Stitch burps. Like, yeah, it works, but it's gross, and I really don't like it. And I'm not going to lie, that's part of why I won't go on it, is because it smells gross, and I have no interest in going on something that smells gross. But yeah, there you have it. We don't know a whole lot about what's coming yet. We're going to probably get announcements at some point or another. Who knows? It isn't 100% the case that it's going to be gone forever. The Carousel of Progress is one of the examples of an attraction that went seasonal at one point and then came back, and now it's a permanent fixture again. And granted, Carousel of Progress has a lot of history with Walt, so I'm sure that played into keeping it around, and Stitch doesn't have that. But, never say never. It is possible that Stitch might come back. We do know it's going to come back for those 2 periods in November and December. And from there, I guess we'll see. Hopefully, whatever it is they do, they announce it soon and they get to work on it soon. Because if it's just going to be a closed area for like a year or two, that's going to be a bummer. Because that's just, it's a wasted opportunity there. Anyway, I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this change, whether you love Stitch or you hate Stitch. I think it's a pretty split attraction. So let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you're thinking. You could also tweet your comments at me. I'm at Rob Plays. If you want to see more Disney content like this, maybe I'll start mixing more Minecraft and Disney news, because I try not to do too much Disney news, but occasionally, it's worth talking about. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button. I do 3 Disney videos a week. And if you want even more Disney content, you can check out my Disney podcast that I do with Christine every week. It's called the Tomorrowland Transit Authorities. You can find it on iTunes and Stitcher and the Google Play Store, and you can find it on our website, ttapodcast.com. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Have a great week. Whatever you're doing, make the most of it, because it makes it that much better. I also, quick apology. I know I've been calling out for answers that I was going to highlight on the show, and I just keep forgetting because I'm dumb and I have awful memory. So I promise I'm going to start reading out comments with the next Minecraft video. I just need to tie a string around my finger. Anyway, have a great week, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye. With all of the recent rumors and suggestions and changes, you seem to be somewhat okay with all of them. What is the proverbial line in the sand for you? What kind of change would it take for you to be against? Replacing pirates or the Haunted Mansion? Good question, and it's one I was actually thinking of before you even asked it.